You're watching Leicester Till I Die TV with Chris, Craig, Scott, Brad and Mark. Leicester Till I Die, now available on Spotify.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on you foxes!
Good evening, fellow Fox fans. How are we doing? Feeling any better? Yeah, it runs a bit deep, doesn't it? It still hurts. But I'll tell you what, it's like, or they say it's like riding a bike. Fall off, get back on straight away. And we're back on straight away tomorrow night with a little matter of this. Yep, Zorya Luhansk away. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce their stadium. We've got somebody that's going to do that for us in a second. But welcome along. It's Leicester Till I Die TV, and this is what you're watching.
You are watching Leicester Till I Die TV with Chris and Chums. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. All you need for everything Leicester City FC. It's Leicester Till I Die TV. Leicester Till I Die, now available on Spotify.
Indeed we are, and we are actually, I'm going to prove I can be in two places at once tonight. Unfortunately, this week, neither of them is actually going to be watching the Foxes live, but, it's something we've got to put up with. But if you're watching us, you can watch us live on YouTube. That's Leicester Till I Die TV, and if you're watching on YouTube, press that little subscribe button and give us a follow. It would be much appreciated. Or it's Facebook group, Leicester Till I Die, and if you're doing that, again, just click on the StreamYard logo. It just means your name comes up and we can give you a shout out and we know who we're talking to, not just to Facebook user. But it is the European show, and we're going to be live in a second. And then at the end, if you miss anything at all, catch us on follow us on catch up on YouTube, as they Leicester Till I Die TV, or on your favourite podcast, which includes Apple, iTunes, and Spotify. And exactly just to prove the point here, good evening to Facebook user. If you don't want to click on the Spotify link, stick your name at the end and I can say hello. But lucky you sat in the changing rooms. You say lucky me, it doesn't half stink, I'll tell you, when they've had a game. But good evening. It is the European show, and tomorrow we are playing Zorya Luhansk. Let me bring in a couple of buddies tonight. I've got two. We've got Mark, and we've got the sensible one with us this evening as well. A little matter of Taylor Heath. Hello, Mark. Hello, Taylor.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, and how are you?
We okay?
Yeah, we are okay.
Are you okay? Now, Taylor, I know that your dad is absolutely awful at pronouncing these foreign names and what have you. So, yeah, he can't say Zorya Luhansk if the truth be known. But they're not actually playing at their stadium tomorrow. They're actually playing here. Now, do you want to give that a go, Taylor? Do you want to have a go at pronouncing that?
That word, what does that say? Slavitic Arena. Zaporizhzhia.
Zaporizhzhia.
Yes. Yeah. Let's just say they're playing in the Ukraine, shall we? I think that would be easier. Now, Taylor, where are your Christmas decorations?
On the tree, of course.
You've got it up already?
Yeah.
Well, I got told off the other week for having nothing Christmassy up yet when everybody else has. So my hat today, I am going to put on. It is a Leicester City Santa Claus hat. Do you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Oh, Taylor, you be a good boy for your dad, and we'll see. Father Christmas might even bring us 3 points at the weekend. You never know. You take care, Taylor.
You want to tell Chris who your favourite player is?
Jamie Vardy.
Of course it is. It is. What do you think? And a serious question here. Tell your dad not to listen now. But what do you think of Kelechi Iheanacho?
I think he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he good?
Right, get down. Mommy.
I think, Taylor, you've just been cut out of your dad's will. Bye, Taylor. Well, you're not bringing him up very well, are you?
No.
But hey, he likes Jamie Vardy, so we've got to let him off. Dale, he said it's hello, Mr. Twigger. It's Mr. Twigger this evening, not Mrs. And that was him apparently. Don't know why it's like that. Maybe you haven't clicked on the StreamYard link, Dale. Could be that. But yeah, anyway, Mark, how are we feeling after the weekend?
Not good, mate. Not good at all. I've been angry for days. I've been really angry. I didn't get involved in any of the chats on the forums. I read them and I thought I was just too disheartened. I thought, it was crazy, playing that 5 in defence against the Fulham side, bottom of the league. It's there's a lot of Brendan Rodgers hater. I love Brendan Rodgers, but I think it's wrong.
I think sometimes we all need to sort of, I put a thing in the group today, when people are talking and we're all part of, one big LCFC family, but, it starts with the name calling and, the personal comments, and it's not needed. But good evening to Fox's Focus. Strange this one, Norman. I would expect us to rest the first to give the rest and have a few team players be back for us, hoping it's a comfortable 3-0 win. Brad, I hope so as well. And we'll come on to the fact that we've got a few players coming back. Just to let you know, Dale, you've tried again and you are now with us. So welcome back, Dale. Tomorrow night we've got a game coming up straight away. 3-0 in the first leg. That's where it is tomorrow. It's not at their stadium because it's too close to the Russian border. 5 to 6 kickoff on BT Sport. If you do have BT, I'm sure other streams are available on the internet. Moving on very, very quickly. We didn't do so bad last time, did we? It was our first game and it was a comfortable 3-0 win, Mark. Yeah,
no, it was good. The first 10 or 15 minutes we were feeling them out a little bit, but it did get comfortable after that. Pretty straightforward win at our place. Am I expecting the same again tomorrow? Probably not. I think he'll be wanting to have a little tinker with the team tomorrow and try and get some of the star players back into the fold.
I was just reading online earlier, and he was saying Ricardo, Soyuncu, and Ndidi, they're all in contention to play some part in the game.
Yeah, I read that too. I think Soyuncu's probably going to be on the bench by the sound of it, from some of the forums and some of the groups I've been involved with that are quite close to the team. I think he'll be on the bench, but I think he will get minutes. But I think Pereira and Ndidi could well start. So keep your eyes on that one. It's going to be exciting to see them back.
Oh, isn't it just?
Yeah. They can be back into the team. I think we've missed them. I think Papi Mendy's done a great job, but he's no Ndidi, let's be honest. And James Justin and the young lad at left back, they've been found out a little bit in the last games. So it'd be good to get some experience in the full back positions.
I mean, talking, and I'm going to bring this up because obviously you were a Fuchs fan, and I'm a Fuchs fan. I absolutely love him to bits. But like you say, a lot of these players, I mean, Fuchs has played 9 games in something like 6 weeks, and he hadn't played 9 games in 2 seasons before that. When and you know, we've been saying we've been playing the reserves out and things like that, but is it catching up on them now? And I mean, it's a great time. It's always a good time to have your best players back, but you know, we really do need them back, don't we?
Well, let's go back to your first point. I'm not necessarily a Fuchs fan. I like Fuchs, but when it was going on about Fuchs, we were creating a team of 11 when everybody was fit on a system, and I think Castagna is a far better player than Fuchs, and he would slot into that left role that I said going. So that's what that's about. But yes, Fuchs has been found out. I think his legs are gone a little bit. He needs a rest. He needs a rest for sure. And is Luke Thomas able to fill that role? I don't think so. He's not ready yet. I don't think he's not a patch on that. So it's going to be fantastic to get some of these players back and start moulding the team back. It's all good. Don't get me wrong. It's all going forward. And I think maybe we needed this little blip, Chris, because let's just say if we'd have won those 2 matches and we'd carried on with this team, where would we be able to fit these guys back in? Now it's easy. It's easy to fit these guys back in now because we've had a couple of losses and a loss against the bottom team. So it's so easy now to put Ndidi back in, to put Pereira back in, and to put Solanchu back into the centre of defence. It's easy now. If we'd have beat Fulham and we'd have done a bit better against Liverpool, they might have found themselves sitting on the bench for a few games before they get back in. But I think it's made his job a whole lot easier now to reintegrate them.
I think you're 100% right there. I mean, we've spoken before. I think it was with yourself as well. I'm not a lover of bringing a player back just because they're fit again. When, you know, yes, if the player that is replaced isn't doing very well, but you know, if a player that's been brought in is doing well, you shouldn't just walk back into the team. There's obviously always maybe a couple of exceptions, but like you say, now we need them back.
But do we need them back? Yeah, I'm not so sure. I just think it's made Brendan's job a little bit easier to get them back into the team, having had that loss. For slowly bringing people back, he's proved that already. And putting people on the bench. But I just think because of the last couple of games, we do need them back. I want to see them back. I want to see Ndidi playing. I want to see Pereira playing. Pereira's a Rolls Royce of a right back. He's a Rolls Royce of a right winger, and we need him back. And so it's going to be good that we've got this game. We've already qualified. And we're away. The lads are having a bit of a bonding session on the plane, so they'll be back in the fold there. And it'd be good to see them back on the pitch. So it all looks rosy, and this game is perfect. Perfect getting these players some minutes.
I think that's what Brad's saying there. You know, they may not get the full 90 minutes, but it's a bit lucky, really, that we're in the position we're in, and the fact that we've already qualified. We're already through, so not the end of the world if we don't get a win. It's more important to sort of get these players out in a competitive game.
It's come absolutely perfectly.
Yes,
because they've now been training. It's ideal chat. It doesn't matter if we win, lose, or draw. It would be nice to finish top of the league. Don't get me wrong, but it's perfect. It's like a pre-season match, or it's like a behind closed doors match almost. Yeah. There ain't no fans anyway, so it will be.
That's true. That's true. I mean, and playing for the under-23s, it's good. It gets them, you know, the fitness, but it's not the same, is it?
No, it's perfect. It's a competitive match. It's the Europa League. It's good. It's the sun shined on us in that respect.
Yeah, and like you said, we are already through. I do like looking at that. I'm not going to lie. I could bring that up all day. I mean, you know, okay, you can say the draw was good to us, a bit like it was in the Champions League, but you know, we maybe rode our luck a bit in the last game against Braga. But you know, again, at the start of the tournament, you know, if you'd have given us a point away to Braga, we'd have bitten your hand off.
Yeah, like we said when we first started this show, I think we should be beating these home and away. You know, and that's just me. We have the players to do that, but I understand there's got to be a bit of squad rotation. I'm
Yeah.
disappointed that we got away with one at Braga. Let's be honest.
Yes. Yeah, we did.
We got the points on the board, so happy days. And the league does look good. 10 points from the 4 games. I'm pretty sure we'll pick up a point or 3 tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's good. We're through, and I'm looking forward to see who we get in the round of 32.
There's 4 teams already qualified, as you can see them there, of which we are one: Roma, Arsenal, ourselves, and Hoffenheim, with the old Kramaric pulling up the benches there with his performances. No Tottenham yet. What a shame! What a shame! But I do. There's a lot riding on tomorrow night, because if you look at it, who could go through on Thursday? Braga. If they win, they can go through. They might even be able to go through with a draw. But obviously, depending if they win tomorrow, they're definitely through. And if we beat Zorya and Braga beat Athens, they're out. And the last game really is it's a dead rubber for us anyway. But it's not. These games, there is something riding on these games, is what I'm trying to say.
I think riding on the games, and we do want to finish top if we can. When the draw takes place for the next round, we want to be one of the top teams playing, one of the second place teams. So all to play for, most definitely. Yeah.
I mean, Facebook users there, any idea what teams we're likely to come up against in the next round? Not yet. I mean, you can only see those 4 I've just mentioned are the only ones that are through. And of course, it depends whether we do finish top or not, doesn't it?
I can tell you one team we won't be playing in the next round, and that's Celtic.
We'll come on to that in a minute. We're not going to go through the whole show without them getting a little special mention. They're going to have their own little moment in the show.
I was trying to build you up there, Chris, to go into.
I tell you who we probably will get, and if you're a betting man, go out and put some money on this. I have a feeling it is Hoffenheim that Kramaric is playing for, isn't it? Yeah, and I have a feeling we're going to get them, and he's going to score against us. It's just going to happen, don't you?
No. Let's be positive. Let's get a nice, easy draw into the last 15.
Well, let's go on what you said then, and we will bring Celtic in now, because there's nothing like having a good laugh at teams that aren't doing well when you. To be honest with you, to me, it goes back to Martin O'Neill when he went there. And I don't particularly have anything against them. But Chris Sutton came out and said something which riled every sort of Leicester City fan out there. And there we go. Celtic reserves are bigger than Leicester City. Well, Chris, what a twat you're looking now.
What a muppet. The guy needs...
What a total muppet, exactly.
His head a wobble, let's be honest.
He's not, in my mind, he's not a particularly brilliant pundit anyway. The only thing that probably makes him look a little bit okay is that he shares the stage with Robbie Savage. But, Celtic, as far as I know, have been playing their first team in this competition. 2 games left, they're out. We are playing, let's be honest with you, virtually our reserves. And, oh, look, we're already through, Chris. So, who's got the better reserves, Chris Sutton?
Yeah, he's made himself look like a bit of a pillock there, really, let's be honest. Chris, if you're watching, you're a great player. Yeah, you score plenty of goals, but you need to leave us alone now and stop talking rubbish.
Yeah, well, I don't think he'll ever stop talking rubbish, will he? I think you're asking for a lot there, But that was an enjoyable moment, to be honest with you. But I'm going to talking about reserves and carrying on, going back to the players that we've said: Ricardo, Soyuncu, and Ndidi. And this is something that Brad brought up the other night. That Brendan hasn't always come out and sort of talked about individual players per se, but he did actually mention Castagna before, and then he wasn't even on the bench against Fulham, and yet he's mentioned Ricardo, Soyuncu, and Ndidi, but there's no mention of Castagna again.
Well, Castagna's he's had a reoccurrence of his injury. That's why.
Has he? Right, yeah. Right. That was going to be my next question. We're becoming mind partners here. I was going to say, has he had a reoccurrence of the injury?
He was training and he tweaked whatever he tweaked before, so he's going to be another 2 or 3 weeks yet.
And does that leave it open, do you think, for Justin then? Or is
I-
Fuchs still going to be dragging himself onto that pitch, bless him?
I think obviously Pereira slots back in at right, and I think Justin will go to the left. If I had to take a choice out of Justin, Fuchs, or the young lad, well, Fuchs
Thomas. Yep.
playing the left of the three if we continue to play that way. But yeah, I'd be sticking Thomas over the young lad Thomas, Justin over the young lad Thomas any day. Yeah.
Yeah. A very good question here from Andy, and good evening, Andy. Thanks a lot for joining us. Would you rest Casper, being as we are already through?
Yeah.
That is a good shout. That is a very good shout. What would you do, Mark?
Yeah, yeah. Give him a rest. Give Ward a go. Let him have some minutes. You know, keep him active. He's a good keeper anyway. But yeah, Casper, give him a rest. I'd have him playing, stick him on the bench. We won't need him. But yeah, I don't understand. You know why? If Casper ever got injured, like badly injured, and we needed one of our second two to come in and do a job, then it's matches like these that we need to give them minutes to keep their hand in and keep active with the lads. So 100%, I would give Casper a rest.
No, I must admit I would have to agree with you there. I mean, I think he was 12 million. He wasn't cheap when he came, and Liverpool fans that I spoke to were actually, a lot of them were disappointed that he left and thought he was a very good prospect. The problem is when you come in against somebody like a Casper at Leicester, if you like a Pickford when he's on form at Everton, you're not going to get that many chances. He's usually our cup keeper, isn't he?
Yeah, and if Ward would have known what he was coming into, he would have been told his second choice. We've offered a contract and he signed it. He knows he's playing second fiddle. I don't think he's got any great expectations of taking it, but he's younger than Casper, isn't he? So there's every chance that he could get a starting berth soon enough, and he would be the go-to keeper should Schmeichel get injured. But yeah, I definitely give him a game, and we've paid a lot of money for him. Let's give him some minutes, like you say.
Still no place for Japokovic. Hang on, let me take this one slowly. Japokovic. Then.
No, well, they put three of them on the bench in these European games, don't they?
Yeah.
Big keepers there, but yeah, I'd 100% like the person that's just texted in there. Give Casper a rest; he deserves it.
I think so, and I think, to be honest with you, he probably needs a rest and take him out the firing line. I mean, we're looking at we talked just before we came live here. I mean, Zorya, bit of a weird team because they lost to Athens back about a month ago when in their first game against them 4-1 at home.
Yeah,
and then they go away to Athens and beat them 3-0.
3-0, yeah, strange.
So maybe we shouldn't take them too lightly.
Well, no, they're at home, so they're obviously at home. So
yeah, but they lost to Athens at home and beat Athens away.
Might be a team that travels well. It's one of the Athens might be a team that doesn't. It's strange in the Europa League, isn't it? Especially with and there's a lot of crazy results out there. But yeah, you don't know. It could be a game we could go there and lose a couple nil. We don't know. I don't expect that to happen. I expect us to get something from the game. But yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens and see how they play, whether they're still going to be going for it in any way, shape or manner. I'm sure they won't want to go out with a whim. So yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting.
I mean, I'm just looking at their form table, and they have basically in the last 5 games, they've only lost one, which was the Athens game. Yeah. They've drawn 2. And their last 2 games, including the second one against Athens, they've won both of their last 2 games 3-0. So they're coming into it in better form than we are.
100%. Their form's better than ours. Whether what that will mean for tomorrow, not tomorrow early evening, I don't know. But yeah, their form's definitely better than ours. We're in a little transition period at the moment where we need to integrate players back in. We're on the back of a loss. Morale might down, so it's going to be really interesting to see what happens tomorrow. I'm excited for the players coming in. I'm excited that it's a match that we can experiment with, and I'm excited to see what the other team does. To be honest, it's one of them games that I'm looking forward to more so than what I was Fulham. Or I'm looking forward to tomorrow night and watching the game and seeing what happens, who's on the pitch, and how it materialises. Definitely.
I mean, they're actually sat 8th in their league at the moment. But that said, we're talking Ukrainian league. We're not talking La Liga or anything like that. But yeah, I've just got this feeling at the back of my mind that I think for confidence we've got to go out and a win for that confidence, because Sheffield United at the weekend, and somebody said a while ago after the Liverpool game, oh, we got an easy run coming up. Fulham, Sheffield United, and not sure what other team. There's another team that's down there that we've got coming up, and yeah, that's sort of wheels come off that particular wagon already, hasn't it? So we're going to need something, if only for confidence purposes.
Yeah, and it's a great game for that. And let me tell you, Sheffield United is not going to be an easy game.
No, exactly.
At all. So whoever said that needs to give their head a wobble as well, because they're team now. But it's, like I said earlier, it's a great game to experiment. It's a great game to integrate, and it's a great. It might be a game that we go out there and win 4 or 5-0. It might be lose a couple 0. It's interesting to see what's going to happen, because I don't think lose. I've got a feeling we will. On one of these great, if you remember talking to me a couple of shows back, we're going to beat them 4-0. But we shouldn't lose to any of these. I'm not like that with this, because I do believe we're in a little transition period. We need to integrate these players back, and that doesn't necessarily mean because Wilfred Indeed is on the pitch, Pereira's on the pitch, Soyunshu's on the pitch, that we're going to win 3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
doesn't mean that. What it is great to see is that, and that's what I'm more excited about.
And I think this is the time when, I've said this previous seasons, but there comes a time in every season when players need to be stand up and be counted.
Yeah.
And I think after some of their performances, and you can't blame them. We all have, when we're at work, we all have off days. We know we do. I used to be in sales. You used to be in sales, and there was days when you would go in, and you couldn't get a sale if you tried. And then other days, every time you broke wind, a sale came out your arse. But so it happens. But there is a time when they need to stand up and be counted, and the manager needs to earn his money and earn his crust. And I think these next, not just tomorrow, but these next 2 or 3 weeks, I think that's our period this year. Yeah,
it's 100%. Exactly what I'm thinking. They do need to stand up now. We've had a bad loss to the bottom of the league. Don't get me wrong, they're a good team. They should be higher than what they are. But the fact is, they're bottom of the league, and they've turned us over. So now's the time to stand up. This game come perfect time, and it's a good opportunity.
Andy, you need to tell those Forest fans. Just ask them where they are. Are they still in the bottom 4 or 5, a division below us? Just if they're giving you any grief, they are, just say your neck hurts looking down the league trying to find them. They're, down there somewhere. Forest fans are living on the past very much. Talking about players there, this was the team, I said, and I have lost it now. This is the team that started against Zorya last time we played. With Schmeichel in goal, Castagna, Fofana, Evans, Fuchs, Mendy, and then across the, just backing up those back 4, then across the mid, Maddison, Tillemans, Pratt and Barnes, and then, of course, Inacho up front. What do you think he's going to do? Come on, put Brendan Rodgers' hat on now. And what do you think with who's coming back? What would you start with?
Well, that team that he put out last time is a strong team, because he's better get the points. I don't think Vardy will start tomorrow. I think Iniacho will start, which is fair enough. I do think Ndidi will start. I do think Pereira will start. I think Fofana will go in. Hopefully Schmeichel gets a rest. But it'd be a lot different to that team. Don't get me wrong. I think a lot of them won't be playing. I'd like to see Chowdhury get some minutes. I do rate him. I do think he's a good player, and we don't use him enough. I think he's a better player than Mendy. I'd like Perez might get a game. Brad won't like me. So.
No, Brad was watching. I think he still is. Hey, I'd love all joking apart. I'd love Perez to come on and put 3 or 4 in the net, and maybe turn something round for himself.
Yeah, Perez will start. I think Perez will start. If you had I've been watching the team get on the plane today. You see the picture of and Albright and having a little laugh, and Perez at the back there, and nobody sat next to him. He looked a forlorn figure. So get on the pitch.
Yeah, you need, when it's like that, you need somebody that's going to go up and put your arm around them and have a bit of a chat. Maybe, and you've seen that, I haven't seen that, but that's a very good point you brought up there. Is that if you're not feeling it, and I know there's the old. Who was it with Man City where they didn't buy him a birthday cake and he was all pissed off? But, if you are feeling kind of out of it and maybe, not one of the in crowd, it's not, it probably is going to affect his performance.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's a game. It's a game for the fringe players. It's a game to integrate the players that have been out. I'd like to see Perez on the pitch. I don't rate him much, but it's a perfect game for him to come in and give him another opportunity. He's one of them players that just need to get some minutes. Iniacho, as much as I don't rate him, he will play, I should think, and you'll see a few players that we haven't seen before. So it's all good. It will be an experimental team tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see what happens, who he puts out.
I'm just looking forward to seeing, like you say, some of the known names. I say known names, but our regular first teamers coming back. And Andy's just added here, Maddison not been the same player after Grealish taking his England spot. I think he'd lost it before then, to be honest with you.
Start the season, he didn't play well at the end of last season.
No. But again, it's difficult because there's so much expected of players these days. And especially if I think of a club like Leicester, since we won the league, our expectations as fans has gone up, every with every game basically. And I know I've been talking to people. I was talking to Craig on Tuesday, and we're of a certain age. We always say it's a roller coaster ride following Leicester. We'd lose against the bottom teams and beat the top teams. That's Leicester for you. But the expectation has gone up several notches these last few seasons. Disappointed in being fourth and in the Europa League. Like you say, to quote you, give your head a wobble. For Leicester a couple of years ago when we were sort of in the third tier.
Fans should be grateful of where we are. I'm going back to Madders. Quick point. He's a bit of a maverick player, and I think he's missing the fans, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I do. I think he's one of these that will play off the fans when, and get a buzz off the fans. I think he's that type of player, and that could be what he's missing. So hopefully when we get a few fans back in, he might be able to shows what he can do a bit better.
More than that. And, these players aren't... When they're your best players... You expect them again. Are we expecting them like every single game to be able to turn it on and be brilliant? Well, it's not going to happen in the real world, is it?
That's what good players do. Good players will always give you a 7 or 8. They always give you a 7 or 8. Virgil van Dijk, you tell me when he's had a bad game.
But they're allowed a bad game
sometimes, but they should be as a 7 or 8 most games. World class proper players do. So when he's offering us a 4 or 5. Week in, week out, then there's something that needs to be done about that.
Yeah. Now, this is Craig. Good evening, Craig. Perez with an S is probably better suited to European football. Yep, quite possibly. Might play well. And, are we judging Perez only if he scores a goal, and not his build-up play or his assist? I don't know. I'm going to shock you now, Mark. We are going to freeze frame this. And I'm going to save it, and I'm going to have it mounted on the wall. Brad Perkis has picked his team, and he's actually put Perez in there.
And in the
Brad, have you been smoking something funny? Have you got some ganja out or something there, mate? What you do? This is not you. Brad has been taken over.
Brad, who's this Pete that we've got in the middle there? In the midfield, we've got somebody called Pete.
Pete and Pete and Bob met Sue or whatever. Yes. Who is Sion Chichuru as well?
No, it's predictive. We'll go on the predictive text, Brad. We'll cover you on that one. But my team will be far different to that, to be honest. I think that's the sort of team that we'll be playing. Under needs a start. Perez does need to start. I think Perez plays in the wrong position, to be honest. I'd like to see him right up top.
Yeah. If that is the team, and Iniacho does start, having Albrighton on, I think he's, perfect.
Yeah.
Although Craig the other day said, if you have an Albrighton on, should you not have Slimani on?
Yeah, well, for the Premier League, 100%. Yeah, we can't play him in the.
We can't. That is very true. We
Um,
can't.
Definitely in the Premier League. Yeah.
And I think that might be Craig again, actually, and no Fuchs. But I'm just going to bring this. I'm going to bring this up again. I'm sorry. I'm going to leave that up there. I don't know. Will the I'm not sure that this is going to work or not, because I have a scissor cutter thing, a snipping tool. Let's just have a look and just see. There we go. I have cut that out and I have saved that, although I don't look particularly well on it. And just to show you what, let's just see if this will work. It worked the other day. I'm not sure if it's going to. I just can't believe. I'm in shock. You can probably tell it's not often that I am lost for words.
Well,
but,
not about Perez and he hates him and all this. It is a bit of a shock, to be honest. Brad, you should stick by your principles. You should stick by them. And you just oh, Brad, let's be honest.
Right, let's have a look. What I don't think it is actually. Oh, yes, it is. There we go. There we go. Just to show, I think that I have.
Yeah, you got it.
There we go.
I'm picking my nose, though, Chris. What are you doing?
I'm blowing you a kiss, mate. You should worry. There we go. Brad's trying to defend his choices now, but no doubt I'm going to get a lot of earache off him afterwards. Yeah, for that. But that's how I have it. 4-4-2. Perez up top. And he's, I broke the show. Yeah, you broke your mind, I think, with that team, mate. But anyway, let's think score predictions.
I will go 2-1 Leicester.
Yeah.
Iniacho and Perez.
Well, I was actually going to say I was going to go 2-1 with a Perez double.
Yeah, that'll do for me.
If either of those are right, we should have a celebration, But Mark, thank you very much.
It's been fun. Thanks, Chris.
Pleasure as always, mate. And let's hope that we are correct and that next, in a couple of days, or this time, will it be over this time tomorrow? 7, 8. No, we'll be about half time tomorrow, I think. So, but let's hope for 3 more points in Europe and the confidence it's going to give the lads to move on.
Tomorrow's the turning point. Come on, you foxes.
Yes, and you get that son of yours, Taylor. Get him practicing some Ukraine.
I will do, mate. I will.
Yeah. All right. Take care, mate. Thanks very much, and thank Taylor for me as well.
Will do.
Cheers, bud. Take care. Bye bye. I think, actually, to be honest with you, I think we should get Taylor in full time, maybe. In fact, Brad has broken the show because he has still got his post up there. Let's see what's going on here and see if we can do it. There we go. He's probably gone to have a drink and think, did I really pick Perez in that show? But yes, you did. You certainly did. Anyway. My thanks, like I say, to Thomas and, of course, to Mark as well. The European tour continues tomorrow night, 5 to 6 on BT Sport. It's Leicester away at Zorya Luhansk. I'm off to brush up as well on my Ukrainian. And thanks to all of you that watched. Thanks to all of you that listened in. If you're picking this up on Spotify or Apple, I'll be back tomorrow night with the aforementioned Brad. Post-match, about 30-40 minutes after the match, we'll see if his prediction of a team comes true and Perez is on there. So I'll be here with Mark tomorrow. If you've enjoyed the show, follow us on YouTube, Leicester Till I Die TV. We're also available on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. All the details are coming up in a second. And if you prefer to listen, like I say, we're on Spotify, Apple, Google, Anchor. Other podcasts are available. Anyway, guys, take care. Don't do anything that I wouldn't enjoy doing, which leaves it wide open for you. I'll see you tomorrow night post-game. Come on, you foxes.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.
Shut up and sit down.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You better like them too or I'll be back.